Welcome. The collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. As each word is spoken, we ask that you listen to the vibration that is brought to you. The words convey one understanding, but it is this vibration, it is this frequency that conveys the full understanding, the full healing of what is being brought forth to you. Each vibration holds its own particular frequency. Each word has its own meaning, but it is the frequency that resonates with each and every one of you. Sit now, relax. What is it that you seek? What is it that you seek while you are here? While you are in the human form, what is it that you seek? This is not a question to be taken lightly. And it is not a question of what is on the surface that you seek, but what it is that you seek from a deeper perspective. It is easy enough to say that you wish to raise the consciousness of all beings. It is easy to say that you wish to heal each and every one of your fellow humans. But is that truly what you seek? To understand this, and to understand this at a much deeper level, you must understand yourself at a much deeper level. And the reality by which you live. This reality that you exist in. Is it individual reality or is it a group reality? This is what you must ask yourself. Are you allowing the collective as a group that surround you to be your reality? Or is it the individual choices that you make, solely your choices to be your reality? There are many that will say that it is the collective that they wish to choose. But why is this? One would say it is the easy path. For the answers are not always given, but they are always understandable. But for the individual reality, this is the most difficult path to understand. Remove yourself from all understandings of what are taking place around you, what is taking place around you, and allow yourself the expanse of your own singular reality. It is this singular reality that you, and only you, must have a full understanding of. Your individual choices, your individual understandings, your individual decisions not only affect you, but the whole of all humanity. So why focus on a broad understanding of group decisions or group understandings, group realities? Trying to change the world as a group may be a futile understanding. But if you and you alone understand your reality from the singular perspective, and what each choice you decide to make, and how it affects everything outside of your reality, this is where the greatest change will take place. Allowing yourself to make these singular decisions will begin to shift your perspective of your understanding of why you are here. There is much to be understood about this. There is much to understand about the reality of this. For each decision, no matter how large or small it is, has an overwhelming effect on all things around you. But you must focus on this singular reality. That is where the focus must be. The change must come from within, deeply within. The growth will then follow. The healing will follow. And the collective growth will follow. So allow yourself this time of reflection. Allow yourself this time to reflect upon all of the decisions you have made to this point. Do not dwell on them. Do not dwell on them to the point at which you become stuck. But understand that each decision that you've made up to this point has had an effect on all things. These decisions were crucial to getting you to this point of existence. But it is this time of change that you are seeking. And by changing from within with this singular perspective of understanding, will your ascension process be much easier. There are many that wish to provide the collective response to all things. And it may be this choice that is easy. But in reality, it'll be the longest path. So begin this time of reflection, this time of understanding, this time of cleansing and clearing what lies ahead of you. If you have questions, please begin.
Thank you for that. That was pretty powerful. So I think a lot of us would say we are interested in the individual path, but it is so sometimes scary to stand up and be the individual against the collective. What can you say to us about getting rid of that fear of stepping out as an individual against, not against, but in the face of the collective?
What you must understand about the aspect of fear in any decision, any point at which you feel you must express yourself beyond your measure. Fear isn't in all equations. Fear is a construct of the human understanding. It is something that you have chosen in this life form. All beings have a sense of fear. But where does the sense of fear originate? Fear is a construct of survival for one's health, one's well-being, one's understanding of their place in their existence. Do you fear your existence when you must provide information to the greater collective? That is the question. The answer would be simply no. So then there shall be no fear. What you're sensing is the rebuke of the words that you will be providing to this collective. It is this sense that the human form gets when the words are just not received in the way you wish to transmit them. So fear is not a construct here. This is a rewiring that must take place. A thought pattern must be replaced by another thought pattern. Understanding that the words that you must profess, each word is individual for each individual. It is not a collective understanding for everyone. So when you must profess these words from your lips, it is these words that others must receive in a certain fashion. If they so choose not to receive them in a favorable manner, it is not your responsibility to continue the conversation. It is for their responsibility to have an understanding for themselves what is then being said to them. Have the understanding that what you understand and what you know to be true is what you must profess. If it is not received in a manner by which it is acceptable to them, do not take it upon yourself that you said something wrong. Do not hide behind the word fear, as it is not fear that you are taking place in. What you're taking place in is the human-to-human contact, and you wish to it be favorable for both. What is the difference between you bringing forth some information to someone that is not of this understanding, but there is a disagreement? You're not fearful at that point. But it is only when you know what your truth is that you have this title put into it. The greater question and the greater understanding is this: if you fully, truly believe what you are speaking, what words emanate from your mouth, what thoughts and patterns come from your essence, if they are your truth, then there shall not be any fear. There shall not be any question, for it is what you believe is your truth and your alignment with all things.
Thank you for that. Very important, very helpful. I was presented with this question this week, and I thought I would get your take on it. From your perspective, what does it mean to be human in 2021?
A very interesting question. Were you not human in 2020 or before? That is the question. So to be human in 2021 is an interesting question. But maybe what you are seeking is this. In the time periods past, were periods of growth, periods of learning, periods of understanding by which you had questions. You were seeking certain answers, building your knowledge, but moving now into this new age, this new existence. You have built your foundation. You have built all that you understand. There is more to learn, but you're fully rooted and fully planted in your understandings, your truth. So maybe it is not to be what it is like to be human in 2021, but what it is like to be aware in 2021. You have an awareness about you, all of you, all beings of this planet have an awareness about them that is greater than it has been in the past. So it is that is the more likely question. What it is to be aware in 2021. To stand your truth, to stand in your truth for what you know and you adhere to. And in that, you may feel more human than you have before.
You hit the nail on the head. Perfect. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to see that you're back with your sense of humor. So last Friday, Judy's daughter, Courtney, had a terrifying dream and woke up to find that her third floor balcony door was wide open. She feels as though something energetically may have occurred in her apartment. Do you have an explanation for how this door was opened in the middle of the night?
What transpired that evening was an energetic interaction with several beings not of this realm. Though the beings did not open this doorway, the physical doorway. It is these beings that opened a energetic doorway The individual opened the physical doorway through her expression of energy and movement. As a understanding and an acknowledgement that the two doorways are now open for an energetic exchange of information. Physically and energetically, both doorways have been breached and opened, allowing the transmission of this information. Do not be fearful of it, but have the understanding that there is a great energetic exchange taking place.
Did that have something to do with the bad dream? And who were the beings that she was connecting with, please?
The dream was not directly connected other than to be a point of awareness, to bring attention to. And do not have specific acknowledgement of the specific beings, but understand this, that they are not there for harm or malicious intent. These are beings that have been in the close arrangement of existence around her. This is the first time they have presented themselves in this manner. The symbolic expression of opening the doorways will now allow the interactions to take place. She will gain more clarity. Do not be fearful.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. So Will also encountered a very, very tall ET being last weekend during a Reiki session, probably 12 feet tall, and saw a ship in the sky as well. Can you tell me who that was and why did he or she appear? Was there a message?
With the beings that presented themselves that point were of the blue avian race. The ship upon which they have been transported from is the representation of the parallel existence of William and his Zeta. It was making their presence known for this particular healing that was taking place.
So they were assisting him in working on Eric?
This is correct. They were infusing a healing practice, a new healing energetic contact points for individuals.
Is that something will be doing in the future?
If called upon and it is the appropriate time, yes.
And Will is connected to the blue avians, isn't he?
To a certain extent, yes.
So was that blue avian on the ship with the Zeta?
This is correct.
Cool, thank you. Interesting. So during a recent cacao ceremony, Elaine had a Viking come to her, a Viking type being. Who was that? And what did that being mean by the phrase, blood of my blood?
A name is not present, but the individual that was presented that afternoon was one of a mighty presence, a presence of stature, warrior in aspect, but with a healing understanding of all things. The connection point between the earth and the sky and all of its surroundings, and the healing that takes place within it, as well as the protection that is conveyed through this individual. The phrase that had been conveyed is one to take internally and have the understanding that though connected through blood, it is not always the connection through blood by which you are conjoined with other realms. There are many layers upon which connections are made. But to have the understanding that a deep connection, one by blood, is always stronger than that of one that is purely energetic. Though the energetic connections are quite strong, one that is conveyed through blood carries much stronger, everlasting connections.
Interesting. Is that one of her guides?
It is not considered a guide as you would perceive it. But you must understand that each individual that is placed upon this planet does have a number of guides with them. But there are other realms and other perspectives, other beings that stand alongside, that have come through with you to this existence. Multidimensional understanding, multidimensional existences that come through you and with you to this existence. Guides will come and go. They will ebb and flow around you as they are needed. But other energetic connections remain steadfast alongside you, your entire presence in this existence. That is the role of this individual.
Wonderful, thank you. And the connection that Will has with Enoch, is that considered a blood connection?
This is correct.
Very good, thank you. So Kirk has a question. It's rather complex, but I'm going to try to summarize it. And maybe you can expand because you know what he means. But how can we recognize the difference between thoughts arising from our ego versus those arising from our higher selves? And should we make an effort to sort of tamp down those from our ego?
There is an extremely thin line of understanding between the self-inflicted ego thought and those that arise from a higher consciousness perspective of an individual. Or many of you believe your higher consciousness only pervades a certain level of conversation with you. But you must understand this higher level perspective is a consciousness alone. And it too will provide you thoughts and understandings that may be construed as your ego. But the difference with it, with those thoughts, an ego-centric thought will generally do harm, will inflict a particular type of issue, harm, wound. But similarly, the higher perspective, the higher consciousness of one's individual, a similar thought, but it won't be phrased similarly. And it will convey a neutral understanding. It is a difficult concept to understand. But if you framework your ego thoughts, your egocentric thoughts, and you center them and you understand them for what they convey, then when your higher self, your perspective, conveys similar thoughts, you will have a distinct line of understanding. But it is difficult. A better understanding of this, the ego itself is not connected to the heart center, the energetic core, the being, the essence of who you are. It is merely the thought construct that is within inside of your human understanding. This is where judgment, hurt, pain for others reside. But when your higher consciousness is engaged, your higher self is engaged, though it be very similar, you will feel a direct connection from your heart center. And it will not convey the similar essence of what the ego conveys. We hope this is an acceptable understanding. It is a difficult connection point. The line is extremely thin between the two. So one must have a deep understanding of their ego self and their higher consciousness self.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Evan would like to know why he feels physically ill upon waking from a nap. He finds himself unable to take naps. He believes this to be abnormal and frustrating. Can you speak to that for him, please?
What must be understood is there are two halves to this equation, the physical half and the energetic half. The physical half is requiring this particular point of relaxation. The energetic half is not ready for this. But once the understanding is made that this period of rest takes place, and the energetic takes advantage of this and wishes to travel deeply beyond this existence. Without the understanding that this is just temporary, it's not a full rest period. So at the point at which the physical body awakens, the energetic body has not settled back in, and it is disruptive. Very similarly, as it was expressed in the individual that is speaking, when he first began this process, it was disruptive to the physical body. The physical body was in stasis, and when it arose from this stasis, the energetic body had not settled back into it. But what can be done is to have an expression, to have and begin a deep conversation with both halves, to express that this is merely a temporary rest period, that he wishes not to travel during this. This may take some time, but there must be a deeper understanding between the two halves for this to relieve itself.
Perfect. Thank you. So Eric is getting ready to take a long journey. He would like to know if you have any words that he needs prior to his journey. And is there anything Maria needs to know while he's on this journey?
Center yourself in the understanding that this journey, this period of exploration for oneself, is centered with all of your understanding. Setting aside all other aspects of self, setting aside all aspects of judgment of self, setting aside all aspects of self, period. Do not overthink, do not overestimate this period of quiet. This period of quiet will be a struggle for all internal mechanisms of the physical self. But this is what you have chosen. Without this period of exploration, without this period of struggle, one may not know what is just beyond the next door. And for you, this is your period of understanding what is beyond this door. But you must align yourself with the true understanding and the true knowing that this is being conducted in alignment with your higher existence. If there is any question, if there is any doubt, if there is any misunderstanding, the true alignment will not take place. This is going to be the awakening beyond what you can comprehend at this point. for the other individual. Open yourself up to all expressions of understanding. Open yourself up to all expressions of acknowledgement. And convey outward during this period of journey for this individual that all healing, that all knowing, and that all understanding be bestowed upon this individual during this time. For it is your energy that will sustain him during the points at which he feels lost. Maintain your energy at its highest, with his energy at the center.
Beautiful, thank you. Donna is faced with a decision point at work that started yesterday. What can you say to her to sustain her in her decision, in standing for her truth, and by way of comfort, please?
There has been already much said about standing in one's truth. It is this singular decision, these decision points. The interesting question of what it is to be human in 2021. This is what it is to be human in 2021. You will be faced with great challenges. You'll be faced with great questions. You'll be faced with great adversity. But it is your awareness and your truth that will be your comfort. And the answers are there and they lay in front of you. You know your truth. You know your understanding. Do not hide behind the fear that you sense. There is not a survival point in front of you. These are decisions. These are truth points. All the training has been completed. It is now your time to shine, to play in the game, to be the singular individual with the understanding of your truth. Yes, there will be consequences with holding your truth, but there is a greater consequence if you do not. So allow yourself the comfort in knowing that you are the divine being that you are, and you hold the truth that you have inside of you. You have built the foundation upon which you stand, and you hold this as your knowing, your awareness, your truth, and nothing will set you aside from that.
Thank you for that. Stacy has a cat, Lovey. Can you shed some light on Lovey's role with Stacy, her assignment, please?
the role of this individual animal. Conveys one of an energetic portal pathway to sustain this individual's energy. There is a teaching that takes place between the two. There is information that is conveyed from this animal to the individual through this energetic portal, this energetic pathway. And it is this teaching that provides the greater understanding of the voice that she has. It is as if the energy that is being conveyed through is then being conveyed in language. It is this teaching, it is this healing that is coming through. This is the channel by which she speaks. And this animal holds that space.
Thank you. Good information. What would you like to tell us about the upcoming equinox, please?
Take time to prepare yourself for change that is to come. Set aside the belief systems that you've had and begin to understand things anew in your existence. Do not take this lightly. Things are beginning to rapidly change in each and every one's individual existence as well as the collective as a whole. There is an energy that is surrounding each individual. As you convey this new understanding, this new awareness, this new and greater level of consciousness, you begin to transmute all of the existing energies, the old pathways, bringing them forward to their next level of consciousness. Allowing yourselves to transmute any of the old energy that surrounds you, transmute all things that no longer serve you into a fashion by which you can rise again into this new existence. Providing this in a way in which it is collectively done. For this day, for this existence, will individually assist one another.
So it would be helpful to gather on that day?
This is correct.
Wonderful, thank you. Lastly, I'd like to ask about my friend Candace in Kansas, who's stretched very thin, but is a help and a blessing to many. Is there anything that you can say about the turmoil in her life? Give her some nuggets of hope.
Do not fear. One must weather the storm in front of them for the beautiful sunsets that lay ahead. There is much turmoil that is taking place energetically, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But right now, your vision is clouded by what is immediately in front of you, and so it be. But allow yourself moments to reflect upon the sunsets that lay ahead of you. They are to come. Greatness is approaching. Flat and calm seas are approaching. This is all necessary, though in your mind you wonder why. But what you must understand and what you must rely upon is what has brought you here to this point. This is not new to you. There are many great ones that surround you. There are much energies that are always with you. You hear them, they speak to you. You sense them. They've always been there. But now, in the focus of all of what is taking place, they are becoming muted because you are being shadowed by all of this. Allow those voices to resonate once again in both ears. They comfort you. They heal you. They bring you messages. It is who you channel. She is with you. Allow her words to guide you. It is her wealth of knowledge that has brought you thus far. Allow her words to guide you into port. Allow yourself to be calm now. Amongst all the chaos, you must remain calm. For you are the one that guides all of us to the beautiful sunsets.
That was lovely. Thank you. I'm sure she'll be appreciative. Is there a closing remark that you'd like to share, please?
It is your time. It is now your time, your place. It is this moment, now, today, and into the future, to sit with the singular decisions that you make, to reflect upon all of them that have brought you thus far. But look into the future of what is yet to come. Sustain your energy. Do not be weary of the chaos. Remove the fear construct from your mind. This is not a survival situation. Fear shall not exist in your thoughts. But holding your energy to its highest potential for you and you alone at this particular moment is what all are seeking. Allow this to be your awareness. Allow this to be your focus. Allow this to be your guide. For the days to come, yes, will be challenging as they have been in the past. But you hold a new perspective of what lies ahead of you. You have a greater understanding. Use this for your guidance. Use this for your map. Be the beacon that you are.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for being present this evening.
As always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.